Before I get started with this commentary, let me give a shout out to Blackjack21 on Twitter for tagging me in this story, where you have this woman out of Pennsylvania whose name is Margaret Ann Cirko, or should I call her Margaret Ann Sicko, who decided that she was going to be trifling and act in her very Neanderthalic ways. And I'm looking at a image, and I'm gonna pull, man, listen, I'm gonna pull that image up probably toward the end of this commentary so you can see something else on here involving her. So this woman has been sentenced up to 2 years in jail for coughing on $35,000 worth of food in a grocery store. Oh, she would have to do more than 2 years, because if I was the person who owned that store, she would cost me $35,000 in produce. Do you know how much money, how much of a dent that puts into a grocery store? It doesn't matter if it's on a chain level. That still hurts, because $35,000 out of one store, I won't say that it can't come out of there in a day. It might take, you got to think, $35,000 probably was not going to come out of even a one main big grocery store in one day, unless it's a holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas, or there's a major like national disaster about to happen, like a hurricane or something. Like, we got to stock up. They probably haven't seen a day like that since since quarantine began last year. And here you have this woman right here who coughed on $35,000 worth of food that they have to now replace. And now that with WOVID, you can't take any chances. Like, this is absolutely disturbing and disgusting. I'm mad as if I'm the one who owns this store. But it doesn't surprise me, because if you remember last year at the height of the pandemic, you had some white people say, I'm going to go around and I'm going to go cough on this food, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to contaminate it with my germs and all types of stuff like that. If y'all remember that, this, which I'm about to read, should not surprise you at all. A Pennsylvania woman who purposely coughed and spat on food in a supermarket while screaming she had COVID-19 was sentenced up to 2 years in jail. Wow. Margaret Ann Sicko, age 37, allegedly, apologized in court on Tuesday after pleading guilty to a felony charge of making bomb threats over the March 2020 incident in a Garrity's supermarket near Wilkes Bar, or Wilkes Barre. I think it's Bar. So this happened last year. This happened at the beginning of quarantine when she did this. Sicko was arrested after police say she went into the supermarket and started coughing all over the fresh produce as well as the bakery and meat sections. See, that's what makes it even worse. This isn't something that recently happened. This happened at the beginning of quarantine and the pandemic last year, when people were scrambling to get food because they didn't, because only the grocery stores was essential, and when everyone was scrambling to buy things. And she did it then, when it was at a point when a lot of these grocery stores didn't know when their next round of food and produce was going to come in. That's what makes this even worse. Like, she could have put not only people who shop there at risk, but she could have put people who work there at risk. And then all in all, what she did was just trifling, point blank, period. And then she went around saying that she had the virus. At the time, Sicko was screaming, "I have the virus, now you are all going to get sick." Joe Fasula, the co-owner of the supermarket chain, claimed they had to throw out $35,000 worth of food and products as a result of Sicko's actions. Fasula later described it as a twisted prank, but said customers and employees at the time were terrified they were going to get sick. You don't prank with something like that. Especially now. Now, if she gets this and I get wind of it, I'm cueing the violins on her trifling ass. Given it took place at the beginning of the pandemic, Fasula said no one knew if the virus could spread on surfaces. Sicko tested negative for COVID-19. After her arrest, her attorney told the court during her sentencing hearing. The attorney blamed the ordeal on Sicko being drunk. Listen, it's not enough drunkenness in the world to make somebody go and do that. Sicko apologized in court, saying, "I wish I could take it back." I bet you could now that you're going to jail. The judge, however, slammed her actions as totally outrageous before sentencing her to 1 to 2 years in jail and 8 years of probation. She has also been ordered to pay almost $30,000 in restitution and undergo a mental health evaluation. That woman don't need no daggone mental health. She needs more years in jail, but she can stay with that $30,000 restitution, and good luck paying it. And I hope she it takes her a while to do it. Now I'm gonna pause the video right quick because I want y'all to see this. This right here is not her, by the way, but I wanted to show y'all this. This is a picture of the store owner having to climb inside of this area right here and clean out all of this that you see. Because this is where she coughed over. This area right here. Here's another image right here. This was where she coughed over. And notice, it's nothing there. It was stuff there. It's nothing there now because they had to throw all of this stuff away and thoroughly clean this whole section and restock it. Now, what if people needed to buy something from there? All of that is gone in one fell swoop because of a so-called alleged prank and so-called drunkenness. I don't believe that she was pranking. I think she was being serious, and I don't believe she was even drunk. Did they test her blood to see if she had a blood alcohol level over the legal limit? They didn't mention that, so I don't believe that this woman was drunk. She was, in my opinion, she knew exactly what she was doing, and she thought it was funny. She probably thought it was funny. Well, who's laughing now? But like I said, I would be the one that would give her way more time in prison than 2 years, because that's clearly and not nearly enough time for the stunt that she pulled. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments.